This is the town of Dalles, Oregon. At least that's the way we were told that it was pronounced. One of the locals said probably the best way to remember is to say the pals of Dalles. We drove down Main Street and noticed that there was some sort of festivity going on. So we drove a little further and noticed there were some canopies and things, and we decided, well, let's just stop and check it out and see what's going on. We found out to our surprise that there was a mural fest going on. They were in the process of painting 18 large murals on the sides of buildings throughout the town.
Your town essentially signs up for a bunch of murals to be painted, and then after committees approve everything, whatever, there's team leads, so there's one person that designs it, and then a bunch of volunteers come in. Like artists, this is all they do. Like myself, come in, and then the town can volunteer to help. There are people that just travel with us that just kind of follow us around and come help walk in color and whatnot. Yeah, you just get like 10 to 15 new murals in your town, and it just kind of sparks an interest somewhere. Yeah, it's a lot of
the Walldogs. You can see they're called the Walldogs.
The first one we saw was on the back of the Ace Hardware building, and it was 180 feet long.
And all of the murals are themed to the town, so this is themed to the Columbia River Highway. There's one about how the Dalles got its name.
We grabbed a map of the locations and set off to find them all and take a look. The first mural we came across was the Ben Snipes mural. He was a wealthy livestock farmer that was supplying beef to the hungry gold miners. It's estimated Ben eventually had a herd of 125,000 cattle. Snipes became the Dalles banker and a partner in a drugstore, and built a flour mill. Ben is in the National Hall of Fame of Great Westerners. Next up was the H.L. Davis mural. H.L. Davis was an author, and he completed a novel titled Honey in the Horn about Southern Oregon pioneer life. It received the Pulitzer Prize, and it was the first Pulitzer Prize awarded to an Oregon-born author. Next up, the Eleanor Borg mural. Learning dance to overcome polio, she started teaching dance when she was 12 years old and continued teaching throughout her life. She was a New York City Music Hall rockette. Her New York City life included vaudeville, Broadway, nightclubs, and horse showings. Eleanor also graduated college at the age of 90. Here we have the mural representing the Chinese community. During the mid-1800s to the early 1900s, a large, vibrant Chinese community flourished in the Dalles. The Chinese community occupied the one-story frame buildings on both sides of First Street, with laundries, restaurants, lodging houses, gardens, and stores selling items imported from China via western seaports. The Honolt Sign Company, as their name implies, was a large provider of signage throughout the city. In 1981, the sign company was sold. However, they kept the Honolt crane service. This is just a cool hand-lettered and pinstripe truck that we came across. We're coming up on the Jean Hillis mural. She was born on a Blackfoot reservation where her father operated a trading post. It was these early years that influenced her artwork and respect for Native American traditions. Prior to the Dalles Dam's completion in 1957, Jean made rubbings of the petroglyphs that were later lost forever underwater. Next up, the vibrant mural of the Sorosis Society. The chapter was formed in 1902, and many of the charter members were from original pioneer families who settled here in the mid-1800s. Their influence in the Dalles is still visible today, preserving Fort Dalles as a museum and historic site, setting aside land for what would become an improved city park. This is the Dalles Dip and Ferry mural. It was a popular recreation spot with lifeguards for youth and adults during the hot, dry summers before the era of air conditioning. Since the early 1800s, the Latino community has increased the diversity of the Dalles and has made an impact through small business, food, agriculture, contributing their culture of thought, language, education, careers, traditions, holidays, food, and events. When we visited the murals, it was great to see that the community involvement was from all ages. Chief Tommy Thompson was the chief of Celilo Village from the late 1870s until the 1950s. Chief Thompson was a strong advocate for his people's treaty rights to harvest salmon and a vocal opponent of the dams.
Cool. Yeah, it's getting close, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they have the waterfall portion for Salida Falls and then some of the color on the headdress.
Yeah. Neat. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And lastly, we come upon the large mural of how the Dalles got its name. The Dalles, in French, is a reference to flagstones used to line gutters. The Grand Dalles, long narrows, and the Petite Dalles, short narrows, were considered two of the most treacherous rapids on the Columbia River. The Dalles Dam, built at the foot of the Grand Dalles, inundated the rapids when it went into operation March 10, 1957. So when we turned off Highway 84 in Oregon, we never expected to see a mural fest going on in a small community. What you saw here were the murals in progress, but if you're ever in that area, I would highly recommend you stop in and see what they look like completed because they are rather amazing.